attraction is bringing me out.
Rolling in the Deep is the first song on the album and the first single, and I guess it's sort of my musical equivalent of saying things in the heat of the moment and word vomiting. It was my reaction to being told that my life was going to be boring and lonely and rubbish, and that I was a weak person if I didn't stay in a relationship. So yeah, I was very insulted and wrote that as a sort of fuck you.
The scars of your love remind me of us, they keep me.
It takes a lot of shit to get me a bit upset and crazy, and so when I'm about to get angry in my heart, I can really feel my blood flowing around my body. So I went with Paul with it, to Paul Epworth, and it was exactly the kind of thing he had in mind to do with me, I suppose. I wasn't really expecting anything out of the session, just because he's known for being very indie, and I'm known for being very pop, so I wasn't sure if it would work too well, but it ended up being a match made in heaven, really. He's one of the most amazing writers and producers I've ever worked with. He's got so many ideas and just brought a lot out of me, brought my voice out as well. There's notes that I hit in that song that I never even knew I could hit.
Now rumor has it she ain't got your love anymore. Rumor has it.
You can really tell when you hear a Ryan Tedder song, which I liked, but I wanted to come out with something that would surprise everyone when it was us two put together. So we came out with this sort of bluesy pop stomping song, really.
She is half your age, but I'm guessing that's the reason that you stay.
Working on my first record, and I'd come home and I'd try and re-link with all my friends and catch up. I'd go out for lunch or whatever, go out for a night out, and like my friends would be like, oh, so I heard you seeing blah blah, I hope you're not seeing him because I heard he fucked her, and I heard you're with him and all this stuff, you know. And it was just like my own friends were gossiping about me, do you know what I mean? And like, it's got nothing. I think some people might think it's called, obviously, rumour has it, and it is quite funny. I think people might think it's about blogs and magazines and papers, but it's not. It's about my own friends making up or believing stuff that they hear, you know, and I was just pretty mortified, really. Turning Tables is the second of the two tracks that I wrote with Ryan Tedder. The Grammys in 2009, we were both staying in the same hotel, and I got in the elevator with about 100 heart balloons, and then Ryan got in as well, and all he could hear was my cackle, which I think has become a bit infamous. And he was kind of searching for the balloons to find me, and then we were like, amazing, we've definitely got to work together now.
I can keep up with your turning tables under your thumb. I can't breathe.
I arrived and I was quite upset because I was kind of in the middle of all the rubbish that was going on at home. And I turned up and I was just going, who the fuck does he... I don't know Ryan at this point, by the way, you know, and I'm like, who the fuck does he think he is? Always fucking turns the tables on me. And then he took that turning tables, you know, he kind of come up with the phrase, which I loved.
Turning tables. Turning tables.
It kind of got to the point where I'd managed to step out of kind of the bitter mode that I was in when I was writing the record, and suddenly felt, and I was kind of analysing all my songs and looking back at the lyrics and listening to the vocals and all that, and I suddenly got really ashamed and disgusted with the manner that I was betraying someone who was really important to me, and I felt really bad, and I kind of felt really childish that I'd made him out to be a complete twat in all the songs.
No final kiss to seal any sins.
I just started kind of reminiscing of how at the beginning, like, my skin would tingle any time he ever touched me, and I'd wait by my phone and be like going crazy because he didn't text me back within 10 seconds and stuff like that, and I was just sort of thinking about that, and it was kind of, and I bet he doesn't remember why he loved me, you know, so it was just kind of like that. find country music really exciting because I know absolutely fuck all about it. So every day I'm hearing something that I love that I don't know of. So it's kind of, I feel a bit like I've discovering music again for the first time.
It was dark and I was over until you kissed my lips and you saved me. My hands, they were strong, but my knees.
Yeah, it's just about the contradictions that are in relationships, really. One person says this, the other person says that, but it is that, it's nothing that, you know, it's kind of like that, really. And I was really, really heartbroken when I met who the song's about, and he kind of brought me back to life and put me back together, and he was a dickhead as well, anyway.
Some say I'll be better without you.
It's about two friends of mine that I met after the first record. I was home and I was living on my own and I settled into my new flat and sort of had no normal friends in my area. It was all kind of work friends or someone I'd met through work, and I met these two through our love of dogs, and shortly after, a couple of weeks after, I found out that he was a heroin addict and was kind of making his, kind of on his journey to go into rehab.
He's become undone, but I won't go. I can't do it on my
Their bond with each other that kind of overrode or overcame everything that was going on really, really touched me and really, really moved me. And I'm so proud of them both, and I'm proud of him. He's been clean for over a year now, and it's, you know, it's just, it's quite exciting, quite kind of seeing a new life happen when you're kind of 30 odd.
Didn't I give it up? Tried my best, gave you everything I had.
Take It All is written with Egg White, who I did Chasing Pavements and Melt My Heart to Stone and Tired with on the first record. Yeah, I can't even remember how Take It All came. He played a chord and then I just started singing it, and it's, you know, it's about my devotion to someone and then not caring really, and taking the piss out of me and like kind of exploiting me, I guess, in a way. But literally, it was, as I sang it, the lyrics happened. It wasn't sort of sitting there writing about it. It was literally like, imagine sitting down with someone and saying, look, this really isn't working because you're making me look like a mug. It literally was like that bit in song. It was like something out of West Side Story or something.
Crumbling fool, just take it all with my love. Time against us, miles between us.
It's almost like, imagine walking down to the street on my iPod and being like, yeah, it's good. Soundtrack to my life. Every time we kind of added something new to it or wrote a new part, we were just like, got really excited because we were happy. One and Only is another happy song, and it's not about the same guy that the record's about. It's about someone that I've known for years, and we've always really liked each other and never been together, even though I'm pretty convinced I'm probably going to marry this guy in the end. And when I wrote The Middle Eight, it's really cheesy, The night before I wrote Me Late, I watched Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore in it, and you know at the end when she describes being kissed as the whole world slows down and goes in slow motion, everything else goes blurry, and the only thing in focus is her and that Fitty guy, that whoever's playing that other character. And I kind of see it like that, and whenever I hear the bridge, it really is sort of like that, and it's quite epic. And I mean, I don't think Never Been Kissed is a particularly epic movie, but like, you know, it's just kind of that. I can just imagine being in Trafalgar. I don't know why I'd be in the middle of Trafalgar Square kissing someone, and the whole world just slowing down and it being a bit like a fairy tale. So it's a bit of a sort of daydreaming song, I suppose. My first concert ever was The Cure at Finchley Park, and my mum took me. It's such a touching song, and it's all one take, and it's very raw, and I'm really sad in it because I'm missing home, and the whole experience of being in Malibu with Rick Rubin was a bit overwhelming, and not in a sad way, but it was just, I felt quite heavy, sort of, you know, by it all, and that song sort of set me free a little bit, and I sang it for my mum, and it's a really stunning recording. It's like, it really is Rick Rubin, that song. Do you know what I mean? The recording is just, the sounds, everything, it's just amazing, the way it's all mic'd, and my voice had gone as well, which I was a bit kind of paranoid about, but it actually suits the song really, really well.
You make me feel like I am whole again.
Someone Like You is the last song on the record, and it was again, I guess I kind of got a little, when I was writing it, I was feeling pretty miserable and pretty lonely, which I guess kind of contradicts Rolling in the Deep, where I was like, I'm going to be fine without you. This one was me kind of on my knees, really.
And you're married now.
Yeah, I mean, that relationship, the entire record's about, that is really summed up in Someone Like You, has changed me in a really good way. It's really made me who I am at the moment, you know, and I'm sure there'll be another relationship, well, I hope so anyway, that helps change me and define me as well. But I can imagine being about 40 and looking for him again and turning up, and he's settled and he's got a beautiful wife and some beautiful kids and he's completely happy, and I'm still on my own. It's kind of about that, and I'm quite scared at the thought of that, you know, so it's kind of all in that.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best of you.
On 19, I sound a lot younger, and I sound really naive and childish and innocent and dumb on it, I think. Even though a lot of people always think that it's mature and that I'm wise beyond my years, I don't at all think I was. And on this one, you know, I know a bit more about myself, and I accept things now, like rejection. I'm fine with it. I'm an adult. You know, it upsets me, but I can deal with it. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't make me question myself that much, even though it probably should make me question it. But I think this entire record's a bit more kind of grown up and mature and sincere, and like that lyric that you just said from Someone Like You, I wish nothing but the best for you. It's kind of stubborn. I'm being stubborn even though I'm saying it, but you know, you can't really hold grudges forever. It just weighs you down, and that's something that I've only learned in the last year, while I've kind of been recovering for everything that happened, and I feel better for it. I just feel lighter and healthier for not dwelling on things too much, really.